Good morning, beautiful people. It's been a long time, but Satellarknight is here and I am presenting you a new deck profile and explanation. So this might be a longer video than usual, but I thought I'd throw everything into one and maybe cut and edit, do some deck combo profile videos since I don't have that much time anymore. But when I do, I want to make sure I give you guys the best quality video that I can present at this given moment. So your boy topped the locals, won a mat, went 3-0. It was pretty nice. It was a competitive locals. I'll tell you guys the matchups as well before we jump into the deck profile. Went up against, my first matchup was against, what was it against? Oh, it was Labyrinth. My first matchup was against Labyrinth. Went 2-1 against them. So that was, two out of, 2 out of 3. So that was a pretty, it was a pretty intense matchup, man. Second game, I went against White Forest. Yeah, White Forest is still a popular deck, pretty imposing deck. White Forest with a Toy Box engine, I think he was playing. He wasn't playing the Runic engine. To game 3, the final, I played against the yugioh deck, man, and I 2-0'd that deck. So anyway, guys, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. I'll go into deck profile, and then let's see if I can do a test hand tutorial for you guys as well to see what the end board looks like. So, without further ado, guys, we're going to start with the monsters. Might seem a little bit off from our previous count, but we are still playing 3 copies of Satellarknight Lirin. She's the biggest engine piece right now that what the Teller's got, outside of obviously the XC monster. She chain summons herself on whenever you summon another Teller monster, so you can like chain block Ash Blossom if you choose to. But on summon, she also adds a Teller spell card from your deck to your hand, so she's definitely a 3-of. We are running 1 copy of Zefroxiton. Zefroxiton is your bridge to your Fiendsmith engine. And yes, I am playing the Fiendsmith engine in here. You do have to play sometimes the best cards or to help you win your games. That is the reality in here. And cards like Fiendsmith definitely help this deck out a lot. Because there's unspoken synergy between the Tellers and the Fiendsmiths that people fail to realize, and Satellarknight is being one of them, obviously. 1 copy of Unukalai. Unukalai is definitely one of the important pieces in here. She does dump Altair, which is basically your combo and interruption in the grave. So she's definitely a 1-of. I did cut down Altair from 2 to 1. I am a big spokesman for, is that the right word to use? I'm very big when it comes to consistency. I truly believe that decks like this and decks that are like from the past need to have that consistency factor to them. If you're running something that'll throw off consistency, then you're already behind. Like cards like decks like yugioh and stuff, they can afford to run bricks just because of how consistent they are. But decks like this, you need every piece to matter. And I think 2 Altairs, even though the trade-off is not having as strong of a follow-up, you definitely don't want to see more than 1 in your hand. You don't want to see this guy in your hand at all. Same goes for Alteran, less forgiving, but this card is fantastic. It's a great interruption piece during your opponent's turn. The Neb, I'm so glad this beautiful card is back into our main deck, man. I pivoted away from Constellars for now. I'm finding success with this. The main reason I don't want to play Constellars anymore is because of Sheraton, as hypocritical as it sounds. But Sheraton plus another like Constellar on the field, it doesn't do it anymore. It's you're stuck with it sometimes. You could play Moon of the Closed Heaven, but then that's like a whole different like extra deck situation that you don't want to get looped into. So this eliminates me playing from Twinkle, and this also like it's good to have her again. Duelist Alliance First Edition, love to have her, and I pulled her fresh out of a pack myself, so it's a special connection there. Capella is if I wasn't playing the Paradise, obviously is it a he or she? I can't tell, but she wouldn't be there. Capella is everything. I mean, it does come in handy. You could make diamond out of this with 3 materials, which does come up at times. It did come up against yugioh. I was able to win game 1 because of that. I made diamond. He tried to get something from grave to hand, and that card got banished instead. He tried to bring back the blue dog and then activate the yugioh fusions effect, and then I negated it more than once per turn. So I negated it 3 times and just basically stopped all his plays. So yeah, it does come up. So Capella is very important in this deck. And then the last Teller is Vega. Vega is okay. Vega, I think like I don't know, man. I got mixed feelings about Vega. I feel like she's necessary to kind of extend from the Deltaros loop that you're trying to do. So key piece here. So that's it for the Satellarknights, guys. The only 3 of we obviously play is Liren. I do wish we had room to play Caduceus just because of the whole Dark and Light monster pre-battle. It will help our XCs to get over those. But if there was a way to have him in the deck, I would. But I feel like in the Teller build, he's more of a brick than actual helpful. For the Fiendsmith engine, we are running, as of now, we are running 3 engravers. I am looking to cutting this down to 2 maybe, but it worked for me. Like, you kind of want to see this guy. And what happens is people are so focused on interrupting this that you're saving all that gas with tellers. You know, like, they'll interrupt this because they think you're going into the fusion route, but you're not. The next most important card, man, and I didn't realize how good she is the Lacrima. She's like a Sakitama, but with more fear, more imposing fear on your opponent, because you bring her out for free, you set up your graveyard, and she's a level 4 on the floor, man. And it gets your tellers going, because you only need 1 teller at that point to make a combo. Because I know that's what tellers struggle with, but this like helps you bypass that situation. And then obviously the 1 Lurie, you know. Obviously a 1-card starter. Still mandatory in the deck. I wish it wasn't. This is the next piece that I'm like really taking a deep dive, see if I can cut it. Because we can obviously search with that spell, with the Fiendsmith spell track. We can search for the Satellarknight as well. It's a Satellarknight searcher, guys. I mean, come on, how good is that? For extenders, we are running triple Sakitama. I was gonna run 2 Sakitama, 1 Aratama, but our normal summon is just so important. I don't want to get impermed on our normal summon and be the Aratama. So Sakitama is a 3 of, and I think that's what it'll stay. So that's like the main monster count. We're gonna go into the hand trap lineup. We are running triple Ash Blossom for the monsters. Ash Blossom still covers too many decks not to be played at 3 of, and then we are running triple Full Lose. Yeah, I realize this card is expensive. I realize that not everybody can afford this, but the truth of the matter is, guys, I gotta get ready for a YCS. And if we are playing Satellarknights at a high level that we are, and not just theory crafting and playing at local level, you gotta have to have these cards. They make too much of a difference not to run them. Some people say run it in the side and the main, but I'm running this in the main because it affects way too many decks. So yeah. That's the monster lineup. We're gonna jump into the spell lineup. Okay, for the spell cards, pretty self-explanatory. We are still running 2 Constellar Satellarknights. You can run 3 if you want. This has a cool interaction if you have this and a Fiendsmith in your hand. It's a full combo. Basically, you can get into your Paradise off of that alone. So this is a 2 of. We are running double track. Track is to get your Fiendsmiths in hand, and if you have Fiendsmiths in hand already, you can get you your Zephyr in hand, so you can have a 2-card combo. And then 1 Sanctifary Fiendsmith Sanct. I figured this is a very good 1-card combo starter for us. I mean, it gets us into our whole engine just off of 1 card. Honestly, I'm surprised more people are not running this card. I've resolved it once. I mean, I've used it once. It came up once, but when it did, it mattered. So I think I'm happy with this right now. The card that did come in clutch, the other 3 of I have, is the Forbidden Droplet, man. Droplet is a big card. That, especially off of Full Lose, if you draw this, you have like 10 cards in hand. You have no problem dumping the rest of your cards, man. Yeah, this is what helped me break the Yubel board. Because he had the Azamina card on board, he had the Fusion, and then he had the Blue Dog, and I was able to negate all 3 of them and then do my combo. I was able to take their monster. But yeah, it was a tough match. But I'm glad that I came out 2-0 against it, and I'm just happy I don't have to face that deck again, because that's a very imposing deck. Okay, so the 1-ups that we're running, we are running 1 Rhoda. All our monsters are warriors. We are running 1 Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity does come up. Because it's a great card, guys. It's a great consistency piece card. And then you say that extra deck space is tight, but it's not really. I'll go over the extra deck. If you have the knowledge of what the game state is going to look like, you can banish 3 cards. You never go for 6, right? Unless you're in like a dire situation where if you don't get the card you need, you lose. And that's mostly like game 3 or game, you know. But game 1, like you're only going for 3, and nobody negates this at 3. You know, they hold their Ash Blossom now. And then one German, or whatever language this is, Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is great because hand traps are still flying around. I did not run into Nib. I did not run into Droll, luckily. Yeah, Droll really hurts if we don't have this spell in our hand. But the Nib we can bypass a lot of times. Okay, we have Armor XC. Mandatory card, guys. It just gets by so many. It just extends your combo. People don't know where to interrupt in this deck anymore because sometimes they hold their imperm for Paradise, but by that point you don't realize, they don't realize, or at least in my build, which I highly suggest you guys take this seriously because this is a very competitive build. Okay, this build is almost unbreakable. Like I haven't had, once I set up Paradise, I haven't had a person break the board yet. So the success win rate is at 100%, and your follow-up is amazing as well. Okay, so pay attention to, please pay attention. Okay, I'm just gonna move on from here. Okay, we are running triple Imperm. Imperm is a beautiful hand trap, man. It doesn't trigger talents, it doesn't trigger thrust or anything like that. It's a hand trap that can be used more than once per turn. And then obviously one full armor deck C, the hard break of the deck now. You know, like out of so many, this is the only like hard break that we have, and that's a good problem to have because I'd rather just have this than anything else. So this is where we're at. If you see other builds for tellers, you'll see how many bricks they have in there and the lack of synergy. This deck just flows so perfectly, and I'll show you as an example of how it consistently gets you to your combo line. Unless you of course have two full armored cards in your hands, which is unfortunate, but the payout is just worth more than what it is. For the extra deck, guys, we are running Double Caduceus. Double Caduceus is a great card, guys. This guy copies any teller monsters in your deck, copies their effects, which is very versatile. And then it's a rank up, rank down opportunity as well. He's a recycler, so it's a very good support that came out for us. Deltaros, guys, Deltaros is, man, this guy's the big boss of the deck, man. He makes things happen. It's a ghost rare. I know it's hard to see. Sometimes I want to slip in the ulti rare in here and play that version, but I like the ghost rare too much. It's people are like usually like, well, what is that card? And yeah, not once per turn, guys. Recycling from hand or deck. Thank God it's from hand as well, because if you would have had those tellers in hand, you would kind of it would suck for you. The sleeves are beautiful as well. The outer sleeves, I gotta change them though if I'm going to the YCS. I don't want somebody to shark me because they can't read the texture on the text on it. So yeah, Deltaros is definitely a one of in here. It has an effect that I haven't really paid attention to, which is where your opponent can activate cards or effects while you normal summon monsters, but you don't usually. Well, this card has a material. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, but he doesn't usually stay on the field enough for you to do that, so you're constantly cycling him in and out of the grave. M7, you guys know already what M7 does. Actually, some of you might not know what M7 does, so let me go into this detail. You can easily overlay this on top of any tellers as a free like body, but you can't use its effect, second effect unless you rank them up with the Satellarknight's CT spell, or if you overlay it using the Fiendsmith cards. Have you thought about that? Think about it. So Fiendsmith has perfect synergy with this. Not only now you have a live M7 that can take cards from the grave and add it to your hand, which can be a hand trap that you can use again, or it lets you combo with the CT spell card if you have it in hand. So all you need is a one Fiendsmith monster, which is Engraver, and then a spell card CT in your hand, and you have a full combo. That's what I'm saying. We have an extra line. Why aren't we using this version of the Tellarknights? Diamond is another big boss monster. I really wish I don't know his relevancy now. I mean, he does come up against Yubel, I'm not gonna lie, but so does Paradise, and I think like Paradise is like a better end board. However, if you know that you can't get to Paradise, which is a hard thing to do, get into Paradise, this is what you want to build. So yeah, self-explanatory Diamond. One IP Masquerena, obviously for your interruption to your opponent's turn. One SP Little Knight recently got its reprint, so I don't want to hear you guys complain that you can't get your copy of SP Little Knight. Do so please. And then one Requiem. Requiem is a part of that Fiendsmith line. And speaking of the Fiendsmith line, we are only running the Necroquip in here and the Wave Hiking Caesar. This is if you open up really well, you have 2 tellers in hand, you can make wave hiking, that way you're protected from nip. And then this is, this card actually comes up a lot because of Lacrima now. You can keep recycling Fiendsmith monsters, so it's really good card. For the armored, we are running 1 Fortress and we are running Dark Knight Lancer. I really want to get this guy in QCR now. I know they're out there. I gave mine up earlier because I thought I wasn't going to use this anymore. But man, this guy puts in so much work. Lancer like OTKs for you. It's crack. We are running 1 Daigusto Emerald. This is just for incredible follow-up. You just get Daigusto Emerald and then you can use Shuffle 3 from your grave. This is the one that I might like fluctuate when the new link comes out. I don't know, I might go this direction, but we'll see. Baguska is when you get shifted, and Baguska comes up a lot. So I highly suggest you save room in your extra deck for Baguska, it's just great. And then 1 Paradise. Paradise, you roll the dice, it's always like 90%. I went up against the White Forest player and I brought up Paradise and he's like, do we even bother rolling? I'm like, if you don't want to, we don't have to. But yeah, like this card's incredible. Wins so many games for you guys. Once this guy hits the field and they don't interrupt it, it's auto win. Majority of the time. Like I haven't lost yet once I brought up Paradise. What else? That's it for the extra deck. Let me go to the side deck. For the side deck, we are running the triple Molcharmies. These guys are not as good as the other one, but they still come up against Yubel especially. You want to side all 6 copies of these guys in your deck. Droll, you know, this does come up, Droll, at times. Maybe like take this out, but these are all like going second cards, right? Awesome is an amazing card, guys. I highly recommend you keep this thing in your side. It does come up in time, especially big events of YCS when people slow play at times. This will come up. Wow. Burns for 1,000. I think I finished off the lab player with this. So it was game 3. I dealt like 5,000 or almost like 6,000 points of damage by battle. I banished, no, how did I do this? Oh, I still had him in my hand, I think, or in the deck. Hand or deck, I forget. But basically, I had 2 level 4s on the field. He had 300 life left, and I didn't want to give him the turn back because I knew he was going to win. Well, you always think that. So then I made Caduceus and just banished this from the deck and burned for that extra 1,000. So it comes up. I think, or I normal summoned this. I normal summoned it, burned it for 1,000, somehow recycled it back into the deck with Daigusto Emerald, and then summoned Caduceus again, and then burned him for 1,000 with the effect. So I burned 2,000 points of damage. Pretty sick. So that's it for the monster lineup. Now for the spell lineup. For the spell cards, we have Thrust, which is still a very good card, especially now with the Fulus flying around. So this is when you're going first, right? You want to make sure your combo goes through. So you do need a talent for that as well. So talent is a great card for that. For the flex spot, I don't know, man. This card might come out Genesis. For right now, I'm playing it. It didn't come up. Did I ever side it in? I did side it in because of, I feel like it's too situational though. I might put in Cosmic Cyclone, it's just easier. Yeah. This card did come up though, so I'm happy with that. Stellar Nova Alpha, it came up against at the lab player again. It's just a free negate and then you let you +1. I mean, you have to draw into it. I know it's not searchable, but I mean, so isn't Judgment. But you know, you're unlike Judgment, you don't have to pay half your life, so it's a good against time card. And then 1 D-Barrier. D-Barrier just covers a lot of fusion decks, Xyz, and it'll be huge against the Ryzeal when it comes out. Which is why I don't like being a one-trick pony. I don't like just being an Xe-based deck. Just because of how easy you lose to D-Barrier. From all my experiences with YCS, I don't want to get D-Barriered. For someone that played Branded before, I don't want to get D-Barriered. But yeah, guys, so that's the deck. So now I'm going to go ahead and maybe give you guys a demonstration. Okay. But yeah, 40 card main. So let's see what our first hand gives us. Let's put this here. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see everything. Yep, okay. Here we go. Don't fail me now. Let's see a teller. Oh, engraver. Okay, engraver. Track, Deneb, Prosperity. Okay, so this is our hand, guys. I mean, come on. What do you start out here with, right? Obviously, you can go ahead and start with Track, right? You want to bait out everything. You can start out with Track, or we can just start with Engraver itself. But we want to do Track because we want to get that monster on the field. If we go Engraver into Track, that means you can get drolled and then you're just screwed. So with that, we're gonna add our copy of Lurie, and Lurie is gonna go to Grave and special summon itself. Okay. From here, you're gonna go into your Link 1 play. Okay, you go into Requiem. You're gonna send Requiem away. You're gonna bring out your Lacrima. This is where I said Lacrima comes up huge, right? Because if you only had one piece of a Teller, we have two, you can go into your full combo here, but you don't need to do that anymore. So Lacrima effect, you're gonna Foolish another Engraver. And now you're gonna go ahead and use Requiem's effect to equip itself to the tiers. You're gonna send both of these to the graveyard. I'm gonna bring these down a little bit so you guys can see the field. And you're gonna bring out your Princess. Okay? Then you're gonna go ahead and use Engraver's effect. You're gonna shuffle Lurie back to special summon. And in here, they usually nib. If they don't, that's great, because now you're set up. Because sometimes they think you'll go there, because still they have no idea you're playing Satellarknight, right? You're gonna go into your nib protection here, into Wave Hiking Caesar. Now you're free to play. You pitch Engraver, you get that other copy. You're trying to deck thing, because you're gonna hold that part of Prosperity till the end, and you're gonna most likely end up with another hand trap. So hopefully it's not full loose. So right now, at best, you have two negates, which is incredible. You got normal Deneb, I love this combo. Chainlink 1 Deneb, Chainlink 2 Lirin. You're gonna add your monster, and you're gonna add your spell. So it depends on what your combo piece is. Usually you go for Unukalai, but because you already have the spell, you want to keep her in the deck, because she'll be your banished target. So you're gonna add the spell. I'm doing this a little backwards, and then you can add the Zephyr to your hand. Do you want to add the Zephyr? Yeah, you'll add the Zephyr. You go 2/4 into your Caduceus. You're going to use the Caduceus effect. You're going to detach. You're going to banish that Unukalai to get your copy of Altarian in the grave. Okay, Altarian's in the grave now. Next, I like when they imperm here. That's totally fine, because that's a wasted imperm on them. You go into your Armored. You're gonna detach these two. Gonna search for your 2 Armored cards. 1 and 2. So we are deck thinning, guys. We're chilling at 7 cards right now. I'm gonna move this back. I'll move this to my hand. So you're gonna go ahead and activate Constellar Satellarknight. You're gonna special summon. And then that triggers the copy of Altarian to come out as well. So if your opponent has a card on the field, you can pop it. Usually when they go Bestial, I love when they do that, because you can just take their Bestial. that came up as well. From here, you're going to go ahead and go into M7. And then into Deltaros. You're going to pop Deltaros. You're going to bring out a copy of Altair. Altair will bring back Deltaros. And then you're gonna link these two away. You should probably link Altair and get her to the grave as soon as possible. For your copy of IP Masquerena, Deltaros will trigger yet again. Bring out your copy of Capella. Capella's effect activates. You're gonna go Armored XC, you're gonna take Deltaros, equip it to Armor Fortress, and then you're gonna go ahead and go here, send Deltaros yet again, triggering its effect. Bring out a copy, oh no, I can't bring out a copy of Lirin. Maybe I should. just so I can deck in the copies of it. On the field, the effect is already used. But in here, you can go into 3 Material Paradise. Okay. So 3 Material Paradise, you detach all Terran, and because you want to keep Capella here. Capella is not that important. And then you're going to high roll your opponent from preventing to use monster effect. His effect gets you Armored XC back. You're going to activate it again to equip IP Masquerena with Deltaros. Okay. You're going to set your trap down. And then this is where you activate Pot of Prosperity. You're not going to need Baguska anymore. You're not going to need Diamond. You're not going to need Diagusto Emerald. This is to secure a win. So you're going to keep IP in there, and you're going to keep Caduceus. So you're going to go ahead, they're going to go ahead and cut. So your 3 cards are Reinforcements, Imperm, and Droplet. What's more important here? I think Droplet, because you have all these bodies on the field. Yeah, Droplet probably will be good. That's what I would take. Not that it matters, because your opponent can't activate anything anyway, but Droplet just covers a lot. So you're going to set Droplet and then pass your turn. So during your opponent's turn, you have a Monster Snatch Steal. You can quickly... oh, not to mention, you don't have to even use this. You can go ahead and use Lacrima's effect to bring this out and then send it away to bring another copy of Engraver out on the board. So when you're linking now, you can link these two into your SP, and then that triggers Deltaros going to the grave and a SP Knight Banish. So Lyran Chainlink 1, and then Altair Chainlink 2. Altair will come out and pop a card on the field because of Paradise still being there. Lyran will get you that follow-up. Right? So this is your hand for follow-up. You do have a full armor XC, quick XC into your Caduceus, which gets you your Caduceus back and your M7 back, right? Or whatever cards you choose to be. And then from there you can just copy effects, rank up, rank down, and then just swing for game. Trust me, like, this is all you need. You will not be going to turn 4 with this. If you are, you somewhere along the line you messed up your combo. So yeah, that's a little display of what the deck can do. There's obviously different interactions and different lines, but like, you always get to Paradise, at least in my build. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am really so proud and happy that we've built this deck together and throughout the years, and honestly made it very competitive and viable in today's format. I know it's hard to do. But yeah, guys, man, I'm so proud of everybody that follows this channel, everybody that loves to theorycraft with me on my Discord channel as well. Take your time to visit there. Let's theorycraft together. And yeah, you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, beautiful rest of your Monday. I think this is Monday night. Whatever. Have a good day, guys.